Alright, another pre-playtest review. This time it's for DE Metal Access. Actually, this is the second one, right? Yeah. So Hellwalker has been updating the map quite a lot. A little bit detailing. Actually, this B bombsite long area is the furthest of detailing that he has done. It's very clean, very simple looking, nice with the white and yellow and gray colors. I really like it, but that's besides the point. Where here trying to look at the changes that he has made into the level. So let's get right into it. So this, first of all, let's start with the A bomb site. The CT entry to the bomb site is more closed off. And I think this might be a little worrisome or problematic for one reason, which is, yes, there is more cover, but it might be too hard to push out of these little cubby holes since they are so tight. Also, that you have two entrances means that you can, if you're facing the wrong way, you might get, shot in the back. Since this is a 50-50 angle, it might be quite hard. We do have this entrance here as well, which is closer. So I think making this into kind of a nuke hut or nuke mini garage thing, instead of closing it in on this side, you could do sort of a house in front. But yeah, right now as it is, I think it's a little too tight, but we'll see how it plays. There is a nade window here. Actually, the ceiling is completely open as well, so can't really utilize that except with a super high flash like that, I guess. Let's get into the whole bomb site. So the bomb site cover has been a little bit shuffled around. I like to see this change, which was based on my feedback, that you can't plant on this line anymore. The bomb site used to be like super huge like this, pretty much. And bomb plants like this here were possible. And the winning strat of a bomb site was just to smoke the bomb, or smoke the site and plant. Right now it's still possible, it's definitely doable, but I think it will be more condensed to use utility and use grenades, such like, well, actually that would not be useful, but something like that. It's easier to determine where the bomb is being planted when you hear a smoke. You hear the T going in for the plant. You know exactly that it's going to be a main plant on this side if there's a smoke like here. This is a little bit more exposed to the CT angles, which is more risky, but it might have its use in some of those rounds. I'm imagining like a bomb set strat of like smoking off this side and then smoking close like this. Actually smoking close like this more. And then actually just taking like this side of the bomb site. So splitting the bomb site into two and taking this side, which is really cool in my opinion. And then you could have like aggressive heaven control. And then, yes. Sorry, my nose is kind of stuffed, if you can hear it in the, well, in my voice. Anyway. This area has been opened up a little. The wall, like this wall used to come all the way out of here, which I really do like that this is more open and there's less hard angle clearing like this. So I do like that. I think that it might, like, it's this weird thing that when mappers make maps, nice sentence, where new mappers, or actually when you think about making cover, you always think of making like a at least 64 units wide box with like head height or something like that. But you don't need that much. It's like 48 units or even less can be used to completely cover the player. And then if you do cover on angle like this, and this is the next peaking angle like that, there's a wall like this, and then this is the angle. Of course, you can get like more utility out of like this sort of a little triangle in the corner. But yeah, that was a little tangent there, but you get what I mean, hopefully. But yeah, I do like this like kind of a minimalistic design here. Then we have the vents. My favorite part of this map, maybe. This map has tons of unique things going for it, so I think the vents is... I always like a good vent. Let's just put it like that. Put it that way. So the long angle from here all the way down to here, that was in the previous version. I'm quite happy to see it gone. It might be some sort of a thing that goes towards CT-sidedness, since Ts cannot hold this anymore that well with a overpowered one end to the other angle. And I think this will be more covered for CT pushes and CT rushes this time. So we might see aggressive T spamming of this double box setup here. Actually, let me pioneer this a little bit. Yeah, even that, like a little bit higher. You could quite literally be spamming this based on the timing and trying to cut off the CT push. I guess any wallbang like that would work. Yeah. But anyway, I like that the vent is more secure now, I think. And it's definitely, if CTs manage to push up here, it's going to be like a shotgun area. Yeah. Also, huge utility. Huge what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Huge opportunity for utility damage to be dealt in the literal hundreds. You know, if like a full echoing CT nade stack here would be terrifying for a T to get stuck in, and it actually deals tons of damage. Even if the nade explodes here, it's gonna be devastating without armor, you know, or even with like 5 nades. Anyway, this area has stayed quite the same. T-spawn still quite the same, like the little this tree model is actually meant to be like super big. It's like I like seeing it as like a baby model. It's very cute. The geometry definitely here has changed. I think in the previous version there used to be like a lane down and then stairs, like a ramp down and then stairs up immediately, so it felt a little awkward. But I do like that this path is like more uniform. Maybe this should be made into more open area. What I mean by that is that you can play from top here and then with a one-way, kind of like a flower planter could be here, and only like this spot or like this lane could be accessible, and you could like one-way drop down, and that would be better for holding of CT aggression on the long. I don't really see CTs pushing up here though that much. I know from past experience that this was definitely one of those spots that CTs felt necessary to, or like felt comfortable in aggressively taking, and actually found some utility of controlling this area, since they can cut off the vent rotation route, and then they get tons of information when they spot players passing from here, and you know, you can lock the B-bomb side of the map up pretty well if you get that under control. Yeah, so B-bomb side has gotten these very cool yellow texture here. I like it, and the map is very clean. I gotta give that. It's really cool. I love seeing gray boxes that are like just like very visible, clean angles, clean textures, white, gray. But it's really hard when you start to detail. It's really hard to keep that clarity. You have to do very specific things and use you know, light everything very well, and it's even with clean textures, you know, you can't realistically get like, well, this is not the dev texture, but you know what I mean. It's really hard to get like this clear level. Anyway, that is pretty much. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about the bomb site at all. Yeah, nothing has happened that much here. We've gotten a new stack of boxes here. I don't think you need two. Visually, this looks really awkward. One here would be fine. I was thinking of the. Oh, actually, these pylons get in the way really badly. These need to go. Have one in the corner. You don't need these. Or actually, like, if you want to for aesthetic reasons, have two. But 4 is too much. And as we could see here, you know, the edge of the door is there. It's like, oh, even with an op, you like, if you wide peek, that obscures the angle like a lot. It's gonna be even worse the other way since the pylon is closer up. Actually, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, wide peeking here, but like, oh, you know, yeah, remove those. On this side as well. Doesn't get in the way that much. Well, actually, it does, but not by that much. It's like just like 1 unit wide. Yeah, not that big of a deal on that side, but yeah, I would remove those. Then we have. Oh, you can actually access these. Here, this has been a bug for every version that has had these railings. So, usually there's a space here that you can stand on. So from here you would be able to get up onto the platform by jumping on this lip and then jumping over the railing. It holds true here, but here the clipping tilts so that you can't. Oh, here you can, what? Okay, but it's not doable on this side. Oh yeah, okay, that needs to get fixed. And that's not playable area. There's a gap here. Oh yeah, okay, that's good. So pretty much all my gripes on B-bomb side that were in the last version about the clipping and oh, I didn't actually. Speaking of which, the bomb site. Yeah, so this side of the bomb site is not plantable anymore, which is interesting decision. But this still is. So, oh, but if you plant here, you cannot be okay. You can still molly the whole area. I was thinking of like, were these added because, like, was this top one added so that you wouldn't be able to molly over? But that's not a real thing because you can just molly on the next on the side of it, so that's not a real problem. I mean, that doesn't fix the problem here. Okay, so if you plant here, it's this box placement is so that you can't really cover it anymore from outside here, but this is still true. But I do like that you can't fully cover it from within inside here, so you have to wide peek like that. So I do like that. But yeah, remove that. On this side, I do like that there's like, if you plant on this, you can still cover it from the main, which we didn't really see that many plants on here. I think like this was, for obvious reasons, this was the most useful plant. But I do want to see more plants on like this backside as well to get the full utility out of that there, and maybe even that if T's get this under control, which they should every round if when they go to B. They can cut off like this whole entrance here and then fight off these two entrances from alternate angles and actually creep up closer to the CT rotation points. If you manage to get in here, you've got the whole B bomb site under control. I'm just gonna say that out loud, since it's gonna be crazy. And I think this path could be made wider. Right now it's made so that you can smoke it really easily, and one Molotov can pretty much block off the whole thing. There is no way that you're gonna be able to comfortably rush through a molly here. It's just gonna be a suicide. Yeah, so this could be made a little bit wider for the retaking to be easier. And then, you know, this was all... We found a lot of... I mean, what I remember from the playtest, that we saw quite a lot of shotgunning in this area as well. And it's a close quarters area. But I would want for this area to be a little bit wider, just for the retaking. For the retaking situation to be easier to get here, and from here it's obviously hard to push. But yeah. Then lastly the... Oh no, I went over a bomb site already. Let's see if there's anything else that has changed. This window's still here. Heaven. Oh yeah, this angle on top, like you don't have an angle anymore over here to here, which I do like. Actually, yeah, no, I don't like this change. I would have wanted to keep the angle, but I get it for like realism's sake. You would want to jump up on this when these three props weren't a thing. It was so that there was just like a blank space here, that it looked like you could jump up on it, but you know, it's clipped, so you couldn't. But now it's blocked off by these boxes. But there was a really cool angle that from like back here you could see onto the door. And I think this change will just make Molotovs a little bit. Actually, no, that doesn't change anything about the utility usage. Yeah, this might nerf the T control over this, or the utility that the terrorist team can get over the from the heaven. And it's harder now to use utility from the T heaven as well, since there is just like this teeny gap that you can throw utility out of. So I would want to see either this pipe moved or these three boxes removed as well, and it actually could play. I don't see an issue with having this top container area here be playable. Maybe not the very back corner. Like you could have one of these crates like here, just so that it's like you're super vulnerable anyway when you're pushing through the heaven. So you have angles like this, and then with a aggressive CT player like peeking here, you could still see the terrorist player go up there, and the whole corner is already, you know, if you were to move this door a little bit up, it would be like an angle that you could peek. And then if you were to add a box that was overhead height cover, so you couldn't see the side from here, but you could actually peek over it, you could clear the top corner here, and that could actually play well with that change. Yeah. I think this corner is kind of empty still. I think you could make it so that the railing would be on this, like this line. And you would have this much more space on the actual bomb site to play around with. I think that change will, like, it would give more space to this back corner, and then you would get more utility out of this piece of cover. I like those boxes. Also a little gap there. And you know, it's starting to get into the point that, you know, I would prefer a little bit more space when retaking and pushing in as a CT. You know, it's kind of tight. It's not bad in any way, but it's a little too tight, I think. Yeah, I think that's it. I went over the whole map. I really do like the changes. We'll be playtesting this. Let me see. This map on Saturday. So, just a reminder: if you're a new watcher, new viewer, or something, join MapInk. Come playtest this map with us. And if you have your own maps that you want to get playtested, well, you know where to go. Yeah, that's it. All right.